Here's my closer encounter with Jim Carrey. He's a complicated guy. Just when you think he's only going for laughs, he grabs your heart with his serious side. No matter what he says, he always entertains. Even when I asked him, Jim, are you wearing underwear?
That's none of your damn business. Now see, I don't have to answer that. No, is that? If you people aren't going to be cool, you know.
When things get too calm in your life, all happy and going smoothly and...
When will that be?
Does that scare you?
No, I'd have to experience it first. There's always some sort of deep undercurrent running under things, you know, for me. So I have definitely, you know, seen peaks of it. I've seen peaks of, you know, kind of enlightenment moments where I felt like, oh wow, I've got to figure it out. This is it. Okay, I have peace, I have bliss. And then, boom, off the wave, into the surf, and you're struggling again. I really believe that I was an entertainer because I wanted to make my mother feel special, you know? So I saw my father, and he was funny, and he was an entertaining person, compelling person to listen to. And I thought that was, remember making the choice as a very little child, like, I could do that, and that will make people drawn to me.
This is my moment!
The other thought was, my mom doesn't feel good, and she's depressed, so I want to make her believe that she gave birth to a miracle, so that her life actually was worth something, that it meant something. And I remember having that specific thought as a little child, going like, I'm going to prove to her that she's special.
It is a childlike thing. It is a joy of performing, and that translates onto film. You know, that comedy without that spark of joy becomes really tragic to me somehow. You know, you ever see that where you look at somebody who's supposed to be funny, but they look just like really sad, and so I don't know. There's a difference. Mine a lot of times comes from just wanting to, you know, take people out of themselves and be carefree. I don't pander to the audience. Sorry to disappoint you.
I don't sit there and think about what they need. I try to be true to myself and say what makes me laugh. And, you know, basically the logical thing that goes on in my head is that there's got to be a bunch of other geeks like me out there who like to, you know, who laugh at the same things, who think, you know, this is funny.
That ever-elusive Oscar.
That would have been fun, but I blew it. I missed the chance. It's over. It's done. Damn it! To a certain extent, that crazy guy with the sign about, you know, honoring false gods outside the Oscars every year has a point. And it should be thought of as what it is, and that is a nod from your peers and appreciation from people, and that's a great thing, but let's not make it into a god.
There's something that goes on in my head all the time, and that is, you know, I'm not the easiest person to live with because I'm like a caged animal, basically. I, you know, walk back and forth in the middle of the night and go, you know, and do a lot of that, but and I'm self-involved, you know, this is a very self-involved business we have, but I always go to the end, you know, that's where my mind goes. I'm like on my deathbed and I'm looking around, you know, for somebody who's really wants to be there, you know what I mean? And that kind of thing, you know, who did I love, who loved me, that's important to me. It's part of, you know, I think if you don't have that, then you lose the game ultimately, no matter what you do in your career or whatever. If you don't, you know, if you haven't made a difference to somebody, you know, that's important.
It's time. Damn it, it's happening now!
There's a lot of people out there avoiding life, you know, and I was one of them at a certain point, you know, just, yeah, there's a lot of things I got to do, there's a lot of stuff going on, you know, and just kind of not taking up life's invitation to the dance, you know. And I've gone through years of books and DVDs and seminars and philosophies and that to come up with a way of living that I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, there are people that expect you to be like, you know, flipping off the roof every 2 seconds or whatever, but, you know, for the most part, I don't know. I love meeting people, and, you know, it's a good feeling when people, like, drive up beside you and there's a gang of people in the car and stuff, and they're like, hey man, all right, you know, there's something great about that.
Give me a crew!
It's just a profound thing. Again, like when you have kids, people who don't have kids can't understand until they have a kid what the depth of what that is, you know. And they're like thieves of hearts, you know. Your heart is no longer your own, you know. And when my grandson came along, it was an even more profound in a way, because it was like this. A certain immortality aspect that comes with it, you know, like, wow, this is going to go on and on and on, and there's going to be a lot of people at Christmas time. It's a good thing.
Before they kick me out, I want to prove how mature I am. Do the claw.
I have a question for you now.